And then we're gonna try to keep the chest open, just like we did in the last twist. So you're gonna first just wrap the right arm, reach your left hand behind, and then shoulder blade, you're gonna tuck it in and broaden the chest, keeping just the arm wrapped like this. Will revolve towards the left, and then you're gonna work trying to bring your ribs around just like we did in the last one. So you bring your belly back a little bit. These ribs that are close, coming close to the leg, come through the front, these back ribs move back, okay? So let's try it. So bend your left leg in, stretch your right leg out. And
so Amy, are we concentrating on trying to keep the shoulders level?
Yeah, as best you can. Keep your chest open. So hold on to your leg, lift up, broaden across your chest, and see if you can tuck the shoulder blades. And then keep your right arm wrapped there around the left knee. Reach your left hand behind you towards the floor, and then lift up with your chest and see if you can tuck your shoulder blades again. So go ahead and start revolving towards the left and work with the shoulder blades coming into the body, broadening across your chest. Just switch your legs so you've got your left leg bent, right leg straight. The straight leg internally rotates and moves down towards the floor. Maybe you can walk your left hand further around behind you. Maybe you can start drawing your right ribs through, so right ribs coming towards the street side for everyone on this side of the room. Left ribs moving back away from me. Work on the shoulder blades. Good, and then release and sit straight forward and stretch the bent leg out, and now bring your right leg back. First, just lift up. Lift the chest and tuck the shoulder blades. Straight leg moves down. Breathe, and then wrap the left arm around the bent leg. Take your right hand behind you. Lift, open your chest, and set the shoulder blades. Good, that's great, Francesca. Just like you're doing, that's great. So the armpit chest on your left arm, the armpit chest has to lift. And then your ribs are revolving, left ribs towards the parking lot side for everyone on this side. Right ribs moving back, and then for this side of the room, the left ribs are coming towards the street. Right ribs back. Walk your right hand further behind you. There you go. Good, and then release. And just sit comfortably. So then I'll show you the second time we do the pose. You're gonna see if you can cross over. When you cross your elbow over, all is lost with that shoulder blade. So we're gonna see what we can do to keep as much of the shoulder blade moving in. So you'll start again lifted, you'll start with the revolving, and then trying to keep as much of that as you can. You're gonna drop that elbow to the outside of the bent knee. And then, once you get your ribs to move, then you can work with your shoulder blades a little bit again. When your ribs are back here, this doesn't have the space to come into the body. So you have to get the ribs through here before you can really set the shoulder blade back into place. Where here you have a little more wiggle room through the shoulder girdle. So you only do what's appropriate, okay? Everyone bend your left leg, take your right leg out straight, internal rotation at the top of the right leg. Lift the chest, set the shoulder blades. Breathe, begin revolving towards the left. Walk your left hand back behind you. Lift the chest, set the shoulder blades. Good. Try to bring your right ribs through, and then if you can, drop your right elbow to the outside of your left knee. Push hard with your elbow against your knee. Draw your belly back and revolve, yes, like that. Revolve your ribs through. Right ribs on this side of the room towards the street. Right ribs on this side of the room towards the props. Internal rotation with your straight leg. Don't let your right foot just flop out. There you go. Good, and then see if you can tuck that right shoulder blade back into the, yeah, May, that's beautiful. That's what you want to do. Good, and then go ahead and release and stretch that bent leg out and switch sides. So now you're going to bring the right leg in. Internal rotation on the top of the straight leg. Lift your chest, revolve, begin revolving towards the bent leg side. Breathe. See if you can start getting your ribs through. That's where the straight leg kind of gives up. So you have to get that internal rotation again. Good. And then if you can, drop the elbow to the outside of the bent knee. Use your muscles of your arm against the leg. Good. Breathing. Yeah, once you get those left ribs to kind of edge their way through the bent leg, see if you can tuck that left shoulder blade back down into the, moving it forward and towards the front body just like we did in the other poses. Good. Great, you guys. And then go ahead and release. Just stretch the straight leg out. Okay, so then I'm going to use your spot, Judy, to demonstrate the next pose, and you guys can just watch for a moment. So this will be a standing pose. It's called Parsvottanasana. The first time you do, for everyone, the first time we do it, we're going to use 2 blocks. You'll step your left foot back to the wall, left heel to the wall, toes are turning towards the center of the room. Big step forward with the right foot. The outer thighs hug in. Right above that pubic plate, the same place we were talking about earlier, you want to rise. So you're not just crashing your weight down. The inner body is rising, the inner legs are rising. Outer legs hug in towards the midline. We'll start with the hands at the waist, elbows back. You're going to come forward over the front leg. This is my right leg. First side will be the right side. And then you're going to take your fingertips to the blocks. Straight arms, long front body, breathing, and then we're going to come up. So let's all do that part first. So go ahead, take your 2 blocks, and then step your left foot back to the wall, left heel to the wall, right foot forward, have your blocks on the high side, and then stand up and put your hands at your waist. Heel to the wall. Left heel to the wall. Right foot forward. Turn your left toes towards the middle of the room more. There you go. So the back foot is not pointing straight ahead, but it's deeply turned in towards the center of the room. That foot needs to internally rotate more towards me. Your back foot. Left foot, toes towards me. There you go. And then everyone, hands at the waist, elbows back. Outer legs compact in. Outer shin come in, outer thighs come in. Inner legs are long, and you're extending in 2 directions in the inner legs, from the groin to the ankle, and then from your inner foot up to the groins. And then right at that low part of your body, rise up. Keep hugging your outer legs in. Your back leg needs to internally rotate towards the center of the room more, so your left hip is facing forward. Yeah. Keeping your abdomen toned, elbows back, lead with your chest, come over your right leg. Keep your shins hugging in. Stretch your fingertips to the blocks. Straighten your arms, look forward with your chest. Be up just tips of fingers. Straighten your arms, look forward with your chest. Outer shins compact in. Inner legs long. Breathe. Keep the strength in your legs. Place your hands at your waist, elbows back, lift your chest and rise up. And then switch your sides. So left foot forward, right foot back. The internal rotation with the right leg. Set your hands at your waist, elbows back. Draw the outer legs in, inner legs long, inner body rising. Walk your left foot towards the left a little bit. Walk your left foot towards your right leg. There you go. Elbows back, outer legs hug in, inner legs strong. Lead Straight arms, look forward with your chest. Cut the outer shins in, cut the outer thighs in, get the strength of your inner legs. Look forward with your chest, your heart. Strong legs, lift your chest, place your hands at your waist, come all the way up, and then walk forward with your back foot to release the pose. And then I'll just use this spot again. So the second time you do the pose, you have the option of repeating with your hands on the blocks. That's a great way to do the pose. If you're a little more flexible and you want to increase, you're going to come forward, pause, get your legs strong, perhaps take your blocks down. If you can take your blocks away, put your hands on the floor without bending your legs, then that's your work. From there, if your hands are on the floor, you'll put your whole hand down, bend your elbows, and release the head down, and then look up, lift the chest, come all the way up. So it's smooth, right? But so if you're here, just go ahead and be here without bending your arms. So if you can't quite get down there, you're not going to take the extra step, okay? So set up left foot back, right foot forward. Internal rotation on the back leg, setting the hips and chest to face the center of the room. Elbows back, lift your chest, strong legs. Come over your right leg, leading with your chest. Come out and down, stretch your fingertips to the blocks. Keep cutting in with your outer legs. Breathe. If you can lower your blocks without bending your legs. If you can place your fingertips on the floor without bending your legs, take your fingers all the way down. Keep moving outer shins in, outer thighs in. The people who have fingertips on the floor, put your whole hand down, bend your elbows, release your head towards your leg. Breathe. The people who are on blocks, extend your chest forward. The people with hands down, look up, straighten your arms, strong legs, lift your chest, come all the way up, put your hands on your waist. Everyone now, hands on the waist, come all the way up. Good, and then walk forward with your back foot, second side. Right heel to the wall, left foot forward. Square your hips and chest to face the center of the room. Outer legs in, inner legs long. Start with your elbows back, chest lifted. Parsvottanasana. Lead with your chest. Come forward. Hands to the blocks or perhaps the floor. Stretch your arms. If the people that have hands down on the floor, take your hands down, bend your elbows, release the head towards the leg. Breathe. If you're on the blocks, work on extending your spine. Everyone cut the outer shins in. And then look forward, stretch your arms, lift your chest, hands on the waist, everyone come all the way up. And then walk forward with the back leg. Good, and then I'll be here again. So Ardha Trikonasana for the next pose. You're going to have just one block this time. Same setup to start, hips facing forward, chest facing forward. Same movement with the legs, action with the legs. Then you'll lead with the chest. This is my right leg. You'll lead with the chest. I'll tell you to take your left hand to the block. This is why we did all the twisting. Pin the hips. Turn the chest. So everyone on this side of the room, chest is going to look towards the parking lot. And then we'll extend the upper arm, the right arm up. And we'll come down, and then we're going to repeat. And the second time we do it, we're going to work on taking the classic pose with the hand across. So step your left foot back, heel to the wall, right foot, big step forward. Turn your back foot internally, so your Your left toes are pointing towards the center of the room, basically. And then your block, put it on the inside of your right foot. To start the first time, I always have a better result when I put my hand down on the inside of my front foot. Back heel is down in this. Turn your chest to face the center of the room. Hips squaring towards center of the room, chest and shoulders towards center of the room. Lift your abdomen a little bit. Good. So the outer thighs are still holding in, inner legs long. Lead with your chest, come over your right leg. Extend your left hand to the block. Keep your right hand on your waist for a moment. Pin your hips in, hold in with your outer shins, breathe. So then everyone on this side of the room, your chest is going to start turning towards the street side. You guys on this side, chest, ribs turning towards the parking lot. It's your left ribs that need to descend in this. Left ribs descend. If you can, stretch your right arm up towards the ceiling, straight up towards the ceiling. Left ribs descending. Pin your hips. Good. And then lower your upper arm, face the center of the room, and then come all the way up to stand. And we'll switch sides. So you'll put left foot forward, right foot back. Block is going to go on the inside of your left foot. Prepare by facing towards the center of the room, squaring hips and chest this way. Good. Abdomen lifts, and take your outer right thigh towards the knee. Yeah. Elbows back. Lift your chest. Outer hips in, outer shins cut in, inner legs long. Lead with your chest, come over that left leg. Breathe. And then it's your right hand. You stretch down to the inside of the front foot. Pin your hips, legs strong. And then start revolving, so chest on this side of the room is turning towards the props. Other hand. There you go. Chest on this side of the room turning towards the street. It's your right ribs that have to descend. And then if you can, your left arm, it goes straight up. I'm not going to walk away. Right ribs descending. Yeah, good. And then to come up, kind of look down towards your leg, and then strong legs, lift your chest, and walk forward with your back leg. Okay, great. So I can't remember what the time is, like when I'm supposed to end, but we'll just keep going. So the classic pose has the lower arm, the lower hand crossed over to the outside of the front foot. In my opinion, it becomes much more challenging. So I'll show you my attempt at it, and you can try it. If you're losing your balance, you can always bring your hand back towards the inside. I'm going to show you without the block because I find it easier without the block on my body. So you can have the block there to start if you like. Outer hips compact in. You're going to lead that same motion, and then it'll be the left hand that comes to the outside of the front foot. The reason I find it easier without the block is once you can connect your wrist to your ankle right here, you get a little stability from that point to begin revolving. At that point, it's really about those ribs descending. So the ribs, those are my left ribs that have to give, they have to move towards the floor. And then bottom shoulder blade tucks again, just like we worked on earlier.
Okay. And your back foot is you're only on the ball of your foot, or are you on your whole foot?
I'm on my whole foot.
Okay.
Yeah. I have my heel against the wall though for balance.
Okay.
Okay? So step your left foot back, right foot forward, and we'll just give it a shot. See how it goes. Can you put your heel on the floor? Can you put your heel all the way down? I mean, your heel, the back of your heel touches the molding. That's for balance. Of course, you know, classically, we don't use the wall. Elbows back, abdomen lifted, outer thighs hold in, outer shins cut in. Lead with your chest, come over the right leg. Extend your left hand down and see if you can take it to the outside of your front foot. You could put it on a block. You can put your fingertips right on the floor. If your fingers are on the floor, push your wrist against your ankle. Walk your hand back a little bit. Yeah, that's the connection point. Once the wrist touches the ankle, you squeeze there, begin revolving towards the right. If you can stretch your right arm up, complete the pose. Take that right arm up. Shoulder blades tuck, left ribs descend. Shoulder blades tuck, left ribs descend. Good. And then bring your upper arm down, face towards the floor, carefully come up and switch sides. Okay, so now it'll be the right heel back, left foot forward. This is a hard class for your first class, right? Left foot forward, right foot back. Internal rotation on your back leg, pin your hips, lift your chest, elbows back. Rising from that low point in the pelvis. Lean with your chest over that left leg. Stretch your right arm down, see if you can take it across. If you can, put your right fingers on the floor, pressing your wrist against your ankle. You can also use the block, that's fine. Breathe. Revolve towards the left. So your chest on this side of the room is turning towards the props. Chest on the other side of the room turning towards the street. If you can, stretch your left arm up, completing the pose. Shoulder blades tuck, right ribs descending. When you're falling in the pose, it means you're trying. It means you're really touching those points of finding your balance. And then spin around facing center of the room. Come on up. Carefully walk your back foot forward. If I had time, I'd tell you a story, but I don't. There's a good story about falling in a class where I was the one that fell and I knocked over multiple people. So. But I have to keep moving, so I'm going to use your spot again if that's okay. All right, so I'm going to demonstrate headstand. So if you want, you can come on over and sit down and be comfortable for a moment because there's a little bit more to this demonstration. So I've got Judy's mat that I've taken over, and I folded it up in four, placed it right up against the wall. You're going to interlace your fingers. When you interlace your fingers, you go webbing to webbing. So not just like out here anywhere. You really take the fingers completely together. The bottom pinky tucks inside. So when I set my hands down, it's a more level, flat surface for the hands. Elbows will be under the shoulders. Triceps will move in, not letting the forearms roll out. So triceps suck in, holding the inner elbows in. Okay, so the first time, what I'm going to show is setting up with my back towards the wall and walking in. And so, you know, if you've done this with me a lot, you probably already know this. If you haven't done it, you're going to need to be able to see from the side. Okay? So I've got my knuckles to the wall, elbows under the shoulders. I'm going to place my head down lightly into my hands, keeping those triceps firm, come up like dog pose, and then I'm going to walk in. So the bottom shoulder blade that we were working on, right now I've got it fairly well tucked in towards the front body. If I were not doing that, my back would be rounding like that. Okay, so the people who are on my side can see this right here, this difference and what happens in the cervical spine. is that, you know, there's a bend that comes and the weight is not properly distributed through the spine, so it's not safe on your neck to go up into headstand like that. So what we're gonna work on is that tuck. Maybe what I'll have you do is when you start, I'll have you tuck here, shoulder blade, and then when you come here, you're gonna try to recreate it. So one of the things that kind of helps is to actually take your head off of the floor. You can get the shoulder blades to tuck, and then we'll walk in. You're gonna walk in as far as you can, keeping those shoulder blades in, not resting back. Okay, so let's try that. Go ahead and fold your mat up and forward. Everyone can do this part. So if you're not inverting today, you can still do this part. Fold the mat and forward. Place your knuckles right to the wall. And then put your elbows under your shoulders. So the bottom pinky tucks inside, webbings are tight, bottom pinky inside, elbows under the shoulders. That's not the easiest thing, right? So knuckles at the wall, don't put your head down yet. Look at your hands, look at your wrists, and look down your shoulder, have your elbow right there under your shoulder. Yeah. And then squeeze your triceps in, outer upper arms, hug in. Oh, I forgot to have you set your shoulder blades, but it's okay, we'll work on it more. So think about your shoulder blades here, kind of see if you can pin them, and then put your head down, softly, right up to the heel of the thumb mound. And then come up like dog pose, turn your toes, come up like dog pose. Now plug your shoulder blades. Yeah! Keep squeezing your triceps in and plugging your shoulder blades. And now walk in as far as you can. Move your shoulder blades towards the front body. Don't rest your upper back against the wall. Triceps in. That's right, Mary. And then everyone come on down. Come on down. Okay, so, yeah, you can feel it? Yeah? Okay, so one more time, Judy. You guys can all just stay where you are, it's fine. So this time we're gonna go up. So if you're not inverting, you're gonna work on prep only, what we just did. The people that can go up, you're gonna set elbows. I'm gonna have you stay head lifted this time. Come up like dog pose, set shoulder blades, and then set your head down. Walk in as far as you can, and then you're gonna bend the legs, take feet to the wall. Set triceps in, shoulder blades tucked, and then take your legs up. We'll be here for a few moments, and then you're gonna bend. Control it, sucking your belly towards your spine. Lightly set your feet down. Rest for a moment, and then we'll go on. Okay, so interlace your fingers, take the knuckles to the wall. Elbows under the shoulders. The first time, you're not going to put your head down, so just set your elbows, suck your triceps in, come up like dog pose. Triceps in, set your shoulder blades, tuck, yeah, walk in, keep setting your shoulder blades. Now lightly touch your head down, nestling the back skull lightly against the thumb mounds. Walk in as far as you can, triceps in, shoulder blades setting. Walk in as far as you can, triceps in, shoulder blades setting. If your upper back is hitting the wall, you are not to go up. If you can walk in as far as you can, bend your knees, scoop your belly back, touch your feet on the wall. Just step there, just not sitting, just rest. Set your shoulder blades, triceps in. Now take your legs straight up. Go up the wall, both legs. Take your feet to the wall. Feet to the wall, buttocks to the wall. Scoop your belly back, turn your thighs in, pin your hips and go up. That's right, shoulder blades, lift your bicep towards your tricep. spine and lightly touch the feet down. Rest in child's pose. Come on down, rest in child's pose, head down. If you can't tolerate this on your knees, you know, of course, come on up. Okay. All right, and then everyone come on up, and I'm going to demonstrate shoulder stand. You can sit comfortably for a moment. So we only go up into the headstand, all the way up into headstand once each day. Okay, so you'll have 3 blankets stacked. Actually, I'm going to change this a little bit. I'm going to have you fold to your folded mat instead. And you're going to put the blankets there. We already made our loops. You're going to have it in one of your hands. Lay down, shoulders on the line of the blanket, head on the floor. You're going to lift your hips, take your arms under you. Mary Lou, instead of doing that, just have your arms like this, okay? So, but if you can, you clasp your hands, or you grab your fingers, and you walk your shoulders in. You're going to be here for a moment, getting your shoulders under you. We did some shoulder warm-up earlier in the class. So then you're going to turn your hands down, sit onto your hands, scoop your belly back, bend your knees towards your chest. Take the feet over into Halasana. Shoulders come back under you. You're going to see if you can clasp your hands and work your shoulders in towards the spine. Belts will slide over the arms, hands on the back. Try putting your hands on your skin. It's much easier. Shoulder blades working the same movement, moving in towards the front body. Once I really get my shoulder blades moving in, my thighs are lifting. Once I'm really doing that, the feet want to kind of come up. At that point, bend your knees. Take your knees up and go all the way up into your pose. When we come out, I want you to bend your legs. Control it. Put your feet down and then take your belts off. Arms over your head and roll yourself down.
And that's an inversion too, right?
Yes, so if you're on your period, you're not going to do this one. I'm going to have you do something separate. Okay? So, sticky mat folded in 4, 3 blankets with the folded edge side out towards the center of the room so I can see you. Be enough away from the wall where you have some room for your legs. And have your belt near you on your side. So the people who aren't inverting take Supta Baddha Konasana instead. So that's this one where the legs are belted and you're reclining in the bolster. Okay, so if you're not inverting today, Supta Baddha Konasana. And she'll be doing it in just a moment. You can watch. Okay? So lay down on your blankets. Move just a touch towards me. Have your block or your belt where you can reach it. And then Mary Lou, if you want to actually go up, scoot towards the wall while you pick up the wall. Like we did that yesterday, right? Okay. Now, put your feet down, lift your hips up, and take your hands under you. If you can grab your fingers and walk your shoulders in. Right towards left, left towards right. If you're going to walk up the wall. Oh, you got one, yeah. Okay, and then squeeze your upper arms in, turn your hands down, and sit down onto your wrists or your hands if you can. Push your hands down, breathe. Bend your knees towards your chest. Take your feet over your head into Halasana. Once your feet are down on the floor, clasp your hands again. Walk your shoulders in. stretching your legs, pushing your feet down, walking your shoulders in. If you can, reach your belt, place it on over your elbows. If you need help, I'll be there in a moment. Squeeze your elbows in, release your hands, bend your elbows and put your hands on your back. Walk your hands down towards your shoulder blades. Keep squeezing in with your elbows. Thank you, Gal. Okay, now remember shoulder blades, tucking. How in the world do you do that here, right? Push your upper arms down. Walk your feet towards your head. Lift your thighs away from your face. And see if you can't press the tip of your shoulder blade towards the heart. So upper arms down. Walk your feet towards your face. Lift the thighs. There you go. Now walk in as far as you can. Walk your feet towards your head as far as you can. Lift your thighs as much as you can until your feet start to get a little light. Then bend your knees. Bend both legs. Take your heels near your buttocks and take your knees up. Just stretch one leg up. You don't have to come down, just stretch one leg up.
Slinging. I'm sorry.
Squeeze your elbows in. Roll your thighs in. Everyone. Now you guys take your legs up. Tailbone in. And then think about those shoulder blades again. How can you access there? Push your upper arms down from your shoulder to your elbow down. Yeah, that's better. Try not to push your head down. I know I'm talking really forcefully, but try not to push your head down. Try to push your upper arms down. Walk your hands towards your shoulder blades. Good. I think we're close to finishing our time. So bend your knees. Breathe. Suck your belly towards your spine. Round your knees down towards your head and lightly touch your toes down. And then you can take your belt off. Take your arms over your head. Look towards the center of the room and softly roll yourself down. Once you're down, scoot just till your shoulder blades come off the blanket. So just once you're down, slide towards your